Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, Mo Perspective. I appreciate you tuning in today. Today is May hump day. It's hump day. I'm retired. I don't care what day it is. Every day seems to be the same for me lately. But anyways, today I want to come to you and talk to you guys about child harm and ways that us as parents and caregivers can mitigate harming our child. I'm not saying that I don't advocate for corporal punishment or spanking. I believe that every parent has to do what they have to do in their household and what works for their child and for themselves individually, as long as we're not harming children. But I'm not talking about a spanking or a timeout or anything like that. I'm talking about people who actually kill their children. Now, it may be because I have noticed an uptick of news coverage and stuff on social media about people taking their children out. And I think a lot of reasons why this happens is because a lot of people have children for the wrong reasons, okay? This is just gonna be very quickly, and then I'm gonna get to the things that we can do to mitigate from seriously harming our children. But a lot of people have children because, you know, of past life, childhood trauma, abuse, things like that, that gives them the idea of having a child will love them unconditionally. And the truth of the matter is that having a kid does not increase the love, okay? In order to have unconditional love, or to even be able to accept unconditional love from somebody, you have to have self-love, okay? So self-love is very important, all right? And that's one of the things. But people have kids because they want unconditional love. A lot of times people have children because they want to pass on that legacy. They hope to have a son to pass on that family name. They want to see their children do better than what they were able to do, so they have children for that way. Some people have children out of spite, not necessarily spite, like God gives us this being inside of us, but we also have options, right? There are things that we could have done to even prevent having the child, and then even when the child came, there are still things that you could have done to make sure that you, being unstable in your head, you know, something else you could have did, okay? But we have these kids thinking that it's going to bring unconditional love, and that's just not necessarily true, okay? Another reason why people have children is because you want to bring back a person that left your life, that helped you create the kid, and you're thinking that having this kid is going to bring that person back into your life. Some of us have children because there's a myriad of reasons actually why people have children for the wrong reasons. But I mean, another reason could be, you know, you are currently in a relationship and you're thinking, whether it be a marriage, a partnership, temporary thing, and you're thinking that bringing a child into the world is going to make that bond stronger than what it already is, okay? So doing my research, it stated that almost 50% of the child deaths that were caused by parent or caregiver were children 1 and under, okay? The children 1 and under take up almost half of the child deaths that occur, and that is very unfortunate. And I think that is because of why people have kids for the wrong reasons. All right, now this is not to say that if you do have a child for the wrong reason that you're going to end up hurting your child. No, of course not. It does not happen that very often towards our children when we're being frustrated, okay? Number one is if you get to a point where your blood is starting to boil and you are very frustrated and you don't know what to do, the first thing to do is to take a breather. Take a deep breath in the midst of what's going on, because getting that oxygen to your brain is going to give you a little bit more. First of all, it's going to stall you from doing anything stupid. And secondly, it's going to get oxygen to the brain, which is going to help you think a little bit more clearly in the moment, okay? Now, if you have a child that is, say, 2 and under, and they cannot physically jump outside of a crib or outside of that pack and play, what you do is you make sure that kid has something to drink, that kid is already fed, they're clean, all that good stuff. Throw them in that basket, shut the door, let them cry, and you take a breather. Go into a whole nother room, turn the music up. You know that they're safe. You got to get yourself to a point where you feel safe, okay? Where you don't want to do anything that's going to harm your child, okay? Second thing you can do is if it's getting to a point where it's imminent, it's happening, okay? We are going to do something that we are definitely going to regret later on. You want to make sure that you call somebody, okay? If you are at a point where you are just feeling frustrated, make sure you call somebody. Make sure you call somebody too that you trust, somebody that, you know, has a track record of being there for you, who has answered your calls in the past or have came to your beck and call, somebody that you know cares for you and your son, that was going to help you, that's going to talk you down, that's either going to come over, see about you, or they're going to make sure that somebody does, okay? Whether that person feels like they have to call 911 in order to stop something bad from happening, those are the people that you want to call, okay? Third thing you want to do, and this is very old school, but it works, okay? You can always drop that child off somewhere, okay? Make sure that they are, you know, in a safe space. You can take them to the firehouse up the street. You drop them off at the police station, you know. You can dump them off on family members and just let family members know, hey, this is what's going on right now. I really appreciate it, but I will be back in a couple hours. Thank you so much for watching my child, because if you didn't, I was going to seriously hurt this kid, okay? So those are the top 3 things that you can do when you're at that point. You're that close to that point. And the only reason I am talking about this is because I literally have been there. I have been frustrated and irritated, and especially doing it by myself. And I tell you what, to me, it's harder to have a child and parent a child or multiple children and have a partner, and that partner is not there to help you. You know, they're just not there physically, they're not there emotionally, you know. So I feel for those who are doing it alone within the family dynamic, and those of us who are doing it solo, okay? In the future, we just have to find better ways of coping, okay? Number 1 is always have a plan. Have a plan and anticipate what your kid is going to need. If you can anticipate what your child is going to need before they actually need it, and you supply that need, then that kid is fine, and that kid will have no reason to say or do or act or do anything that's going to be out of character. Now, we do have some badass kids. Some kids are just bad by nature, and it is what it is, and that's when you know that you have to do things in order to facilitate better behavior, whether it be getting them outside more often, being active with them, giving them more attention, etc. There are so many things that we can do to plan for times when it's going to get tough, because I promise you, no matter how old your child gets, up into their grown ages, they're going to always need their parents, and they're always going to cause some sort of stress for you, whether it be monetary, whether it be behavioral. There's always going to be something. So I just advise and just want to inspire those of us that are parents and that are going through tough times right now, that there are answers and there are ways, okay? Also, there's always the crisis hotline too. Try not to be worried about getting in trouble. In the meantime, worry about you and your child's safety and what's most important in that moment. So I just want to say that to you guys and share that, because it was on my heart. Whether one person or nobody listens to this, doesn't share it, you know, it's out there, and one day somebody will hear this and will need to hear this, you know. And I'm speaking to myself too. I'm just reinforcing in my head what it is that I need to do in order to make sure that my son stays safe, and that we thrive as a household during this times and until everything gets back to normal and he goes back to school and out of my house 24/7. Anyways, thanks again. Take care.